Good evening. You're watching a very special program. I'm Natasha Jog and it's on Nithari, that small village in Uttar Pradesh, but one that the entire country now knows of. This village, which borders Delhi, lost many of its young children in what has come to be known as the House of Horrors, an affluent house which held a dark secret for many years, all revealed on a cold December morning of 2006 when skulls, bones and remains were fished out of a drain that ran along the house, and along with it emerged stories of sexual abuse, cannibalism, rape and murder. Among the victims were little children, some as little as 5 or 6. Well, this week a judge found the two key accused, businessman Pandher Singh Pandher, who owned the house, and his help, Pandher and Koli, guilty and sentenced them both to death in one of these cases, the first case. But what's divided legal opinion is the prosecution, that's the CBI's contention, that Pandher wasn't in India when this one murder took place. Delivering the verdict, here's what the court said. Before joining Pandher's house as a servant, Koli had earlier worked with several other households. But he committed this gruesome crime because Pandher brought call girls home and slept with more than 2 or 3 of them occasionally. Koli used to cook for all of them while Pandher would drink alcohol. All this brought out the worst criminal tendencies and sexual depravity of Koli, goading him to commit the murders. The Nithari verdict. What next? Well, that's what we're going to look at over the next half hour. Joining us on the program, Karan Pandher. He is the son of businessman Pandher Singh Pandher, the father of 2 young girls who lost their lives in this infamous case. Papulal and Jabulal are also with us on the program, and what is, of course, a difficult time for them. And Pinky Anand and Hari Salve, 2 of the country's leading legal voices, also with us on the program. Thanks all so much for being with us on the program. Pinky, let me ask you, this is a very delicate matter. It's a matter of public outrage as well as the due process of law.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't have cases such as this without attracting public attention, without involving public conscience, without shocking the conscience of the society. I mean, this is maybe as bad or as macabre or more so than Billa Ranga's case, which happened a couple of decades back. I mean, this definitely shocks everybody's conscience.
But the family is, of course, talking about a media trial. Now, we know that how Pandher and Koli were attacked when they went to court. I think it was sometime last year. So there is a lot of pressure, there is a lot of tension. Does that in any way, you think, affect the process of law?
I think it definitely helps to expedite the process of law. I think it does make the system accountable to the public. Because what happens is when the media brings out these issues out in the limelight, I mean, that is what has happened. You've had a speedier trial, you've had a tighter trial, you've had various considerations being taken into account which should have, but which might otherwise have gone unnoticed. So whether you talk about the Priyadarshini Mattu case, or you talk about the Jessica Lal case, or you talk about the Nithari case, let me tell you, Natasha, one thing is for clear. There is not a single person in this country who thinks that these people are not guilty. Not a single person on any survey would probably say that today.
But is that enough?
Well, if you take it from a perspective of what requires conviction, conviction requires either direct evidence, where it is possible, and in most of such cases, there is never any direct evidence.
Right.
Second issue is the circumstantial evidence, which I think earlier courts used to take a little less seriously, because courts used to believe that direct evidence is what is required, circumstantial evidence is weak.
Right.
What is happening is, however, now that courts are taking into account circumstantial evidence as being sufficient, where there is only one theory possible. That is the guilt of the accused. And as I said, in this case, there is nobody, not even a single judge, not a single person, not a single layman or an expert who can possibly say that these 2 people are not guilty of these offences. You can't find bodies of people, you can't find skulls and bones, you can't find an extrajudicial confession which has been made and then say, sorry, this may not have been possible.
The twist